Hey guys, Jacob here. It is May 10th, 2022. This is going to be this week's vendor reset. As usual, we're going to be starting at the base of ops at the outside vendor. This week, they're selling the Percussive Maintenance Alp Summit Armaments Backpack. This is perfect tech support. If you guys don't have this, I'd highly recommend picking up just to have it. And also, it already has repair skills on it and skill haste. And repair skills is already at pretty much the set bonus 1 on Alp Summit. This is one of those pieces where I think it's kind of weird to have this because it's mostly repair skills and skill duration. So if you're trying to find this, I would recommend picking it up. Next, I'm going to point out this AKM. This is the military that has in sync on it, and also has damage to armor, so you could roll this to damage charts out of cover. But also keep this in mind that in sync is going to be changed with shields in the next update. So I know for few reasons that's why a lot of people use this talent. So just keep that in mind that it's going to be a little different in the next update. Next is going to be the triple red Walker Harris backpack. This has critical hit chance, headshot, and weapon damage. And if you're trying to make an unstoppable force build with Walker Harris, I'd recommend grabbing this. But other than that, that's really going to be about it for the front desk vendor. If you go under the helipad and go right to these double doors, you'll see the clan quarters. Shout out to Kamikaze Von Doom and DOD. This is the clan quarters. This week they're selling the Forge. This has 50% shield health. This is for incoming repairs. This is the high-end Forge named Richter and Kaiser holster. So if you guys are trying to make a shield build, once again, shields are going to be pretty ineffective in the next update for PvP, which I know a lot of people have still been talking about. So this piece probably won't be used that often. But if you're trying to pretty much collect all the named items, I would recommend grabbing it. I'm going to scroll through the rest of this stuff and point out anything in case you guys want to pick it up, if it's worth picking up. But so far, that's really going to be about it. But the one item I am going to point out, though, is right here. It's going to be this Fenris Mask, which has hazard protection, weapon damage, and weapon handling. So if you guys are trying to find a hazard mask for Fenris, I would recommend grabbing this. Next is going to be the Theater Settlement, which is located on the right side of the map. Usually I put a cut in here for you guys, but due to how fast the Xbox Series X is, you pretty much just click on it, fast travel, and boom, you're essentially just right here like that. But this is the Theater Settlement. This week, he's selling the Mop. If you guys don't have this, I'd highly recommend picking it up, because for one, this is one of the only shotguns in the game that has armor on kill, which makes it very unique. I'm going to scroll through the rest of the stuff in case you guys need it. But overall, that's about it for the Theater Settlement this week. Next settlement we have is going to be the Campus, which is located on the left side of the map. And this week, it's surprisingly not invaded, which back in the day when it was invaded, you couldn't even access the vendor. But that's been changed, so you now can just spawn here and run up to the vendor. When you spawn in, though, you're just going to run straight until you see the big tree in the center, and then take a left right here, and this is where she is located. This week, she is selling Eckham's long stick. This has max headshot damage. The marksman rifle damage on this is pretty low. It's like right at the average mark, I think, or bare minimum mark, as some people call it. And it does have damage to armor, so you could optimize the marksman rifle damage or even the damage to armor and max it out. And you could use this. Next is going to be max marksman rifle damage. Speaking of marksman rifle damage, you could roll this on this, or add to your stat library. Next is going to be 15% LMG damage, for LMGs of course, but that's going to be pretty much essentially about it for the Campus Settlement. Next is going to be the Dark Zones. If you're new, keep this in mind, you'll need a different type of currency to buy these items, which are called DZ resources, not DZ credits. So when you get to the DZ, if you go in here and extract anything or deconstruct stuff at landmarks, or if you kill a player and get his gear, deconstruct it, you can extract it for DZ resources, or open tiny little caches scattered around the map that will give you DZ resources as well. As you can see, 152 credits for the backup Boomstick. This has max shotgun damage. This is the sawed-off shotgun, but that's pretty much an example that they will cost you a pretty penny, especially with resources, and I know a lot of people have been trying to get some of these items like the apartment or the Black Friday, so if they are selling that, I would recommend grabbing it. But if you're trying to collect all the named items, I would pass on this one and save your credits, because next week they could be selling an apartment or a Black Friday or something else you're really, really looking for, and it could have way better stats on it. I'm going to scroll through the rest of these items, but overall, that's me about it, and that's pretty much how the DZ resources work. So if you need them, go in the DZ and get some of those, and then pretty much go to the Dark Zone vendors and buy what you need. Next is going to be DZ South, which is at the bottom of the map. And then finally, we'll have DZ East, which is located on the right side of the map. But this is DZ South. And this week, they're selling the Bellstone Armory Liquid Engineer. This is perfect bloodsucker. So if you guys are trying to make an armor regen build, it does have armor regen already on it, and repair skills, which you could get rid of and put some critical chance or damage. I'm going to scroll to the rest of these items in case you guys need them. I'm also going to point out this Intimidate chest piece. If you guys are new, in my opinion, if you have the 101 credits, I would highly recommend picking this up. For one, you could get rid of Intimidate and put something else like Spotter on there or Obliterate, and you could use this chest piece for a pretty good amount of builds or even Unbreakable. So if you guys are looking for this, I would recommend grabbing it. And you also can get rid of Hazard and put Critical at Chance and have a triple stat Intimidate chest piece. So if you guys are trying to find triple reds or just a Hazard Intimidate chest piece, I would recommend grabbing this. And it's been a while since I've seen a pretty, decent chess piece at DZ South that's Fenris, or really a Fenris chess piece at all. I think there was one a few weeks back, and it was pretty close, but I haven't really seen that many in the past few months.
Guarded by hostiles.
So definitely worth picking up if you guys are new, or just looking for a Fenris chess piece in general. This is going to be the final stop. Like I said, this is DZ East, which is located on the far side of the map, and this is the last Dark Zone. For now, at least. Maybe they'll add some in the future, who really knows. But at this point, this is the last one. This week, they're selling the Yaw Gear. This is the Hollow Man Mask. If you guys do not have this, I would definitely it's worth picking up, in my opinion. Because for one, the armor is 92,000, which you could max out. It has health damage and 4,886 HP, which is armor regen, almost max. It's literally like a segment away from being max. And then you have the empty your mod slot. So if you guys don't have this, I would highly recommend picking up, because for one, it has protection, weapon damage, and pulse resistance. And as you guys know, Spotter is probably going to be used a lot in the next update, because due to the flatline talent, which is based around pulsing enemies and giving you damage. So I can see a lot of people using this to get the pulse resistance. I'm going to scroll through the rest of these items in case you guys need them. But overall, so far, that is one of the main items I would highly recommend picking up, especially just in general and also for the next updates.
Guarding location nearby.
The last location is going to be the New York City expansion, Haven, which is going to be the only vendors in Haven, because for some reason they never added 2 other vendors or even 4 vendors to the other safe houses. I have no idea why they didn't do this. I wish this would have been something they would have done in Season 9, but we still have 2 vendors up here. But it is what it is. We are getting a new vendor for the Countdown game mode, which is nice. But this week, he is selling max critical hit damage if you guys need that for your stat library on ARs. Max rifle damage if you guys need that for rifles. Scroll through the rest of these items. He is selling a Fenris Mask if you guys need triple reds to get rid of the skill damage and put critical hit damage. If you go over here to the hallway, take a left, and go through the green tent. And go straight.
How can I help you, Agent?
Bro Benitez is right here, and he's pretty much selling the standard stuff as well. He is selling max magazine size if you guys need that for snipers. But other than that, that's going to be really about it, besides the Seska holster that has max critical hit chance. And I'm going to point this piece out due to the fact that you can use this with Hazard, which is pretty much you can max out that weapon damage and then optimize Hazard and have a pretty good Hazard piece. I'm also going to point out this Fenris backpack if you guys are trying to make a Providence backpack, cannot speak. If you guys are trying to make a wicked stats effect build with critical hit, which you could use this if you want to get your explosive resistance and put critical hit damage. But overall, that's going to be this very quick vendor reset, and thank you all for watching. And also make sure you keep an eye out for Thursday, because as soon as possible, I'm going to be uploading videos on the new update as soon as it drops.